Alright, hello everybody. Hope you're enjoying your day while we are in New York City. While we are on our field trip, here's the assignment that you will be doing today. We are going to use Photoshop, so let's go ahead and open it. Hit the Start button, go to All Programs, Adobe Design Premium CS5, and Adobe Photoshop 64-bit. And what you are going to use today is the filter menu. So we're going to be playing around with all sorts of different filters, and you're going to use the pictures that you've taken in class to do this. You can use whatever pictures you want, but I suggest using some of the portrait pictures because they might look the most interesting when you apply the filters. So let me show you what I mean and how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to File, Open, and I'm in my portrait photography folder. I'm going to use some of the pictures that I've taken. So let me go ahead and use this picture of my daughter Abby. And once you have this picture open, you don't have to add any new layers, you don't have to add anything special. All you have to do is go up to the top menu here, click on Filter, and then when you click through all of these types of filters, you're going to change your image that way. So let's start with Artistic, and if you just click on the first one, if I go to Colored Pencil, what you're going to notice is all of these different types of filters that are available to you. I believe there's almost 50 of them inside all of these folders. So I don't expect you to do 50 pictures, but I would like you to try and experiment with as many as you can. Now right now this is the preview of my picture, but I can't see it because it's so far zoomed in. So if I hit Control minus, I will start to zoom out and you will see my picture coming back into view. You can also hit the plus and minus buttons down in the bottom corner here to increase or decrease my size there. So if right now I'm on Colored Pencil, each one of these filters will have a set of sliders to go along with it. So if I change these sliders around, I'm going to change the effect that the filter has. Now you can see the little blue bar kind of going in the bottom of my screen here when I change this. So again, here's the blue bar. That means it's rendering the effects that I've just made different. So you can see I've kind of faded out some of the lines and I've brought some pencil lines in. I can take that down. It's going to make it a little bit darker since that's my paper brightness. And this is stroke pressure, so that's going to be how dark the lines look. So by playing around with each of those sliders in each of these different types of filters, you're going to get different effects. So again, there's 50 filters just in this set. There's also more. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this cutout one just so you can see a couple different examples. Another one that I liked, I believe, was in the... Nope, not that one. It was in Sketch. This one, I liked it because it kind of looked like she was on a coin. It looked like she was engraved on a coin. So you can play around with that one if you'd like. And again, there's so many different ones in here. You can literally do this all day and just keep playing around with these. I like the stained glass one. It kind of looks like a mosaic. And I can increase the cell size so it would be bigger. Increase the border thickness so that white line around it would be a little bit thicker, and play around with the lighting in it. So if I hit OK, it will go ahead and take that effect and make it permanent. So if this is what I wanted, then I can go up to File, Save As. I'm going over this because a lot of you save your pictures as a PSD file, and then I can't see them in Google Classroom because the file size is too big for you to submit. So if you are saving it, if this format says PSD like that, you need to make sure you change it to a JPEG. This makes your file size much smaller, and then you could submit it on Google Classroom. So I'm just going to go ahead and rename this Filter 1. So please also rename your files so you can find them. So I hit Save, I can drag this up to 12, and then hit OK. Then I'll be able to submit this picture to Google Classroom. So just to show you a couple more filters, I'm going to do my filter menu. Actually, I'm going to open up a new picture so you can see it fresh. So just so you can remember how to open pictures, you go to File, Open, Computer, Home Drive, and I have a lot of different folders in here, but if I went to my photography class, and I have a portrait photography folder, so now I'm back here. I'm going to go ahead and use this picture of my wife this time. So if I go to Filter, that was just the first one that we used, was artistic. You can use any of these. If I go to blur, there's a couple of different blurs in here just to show you. Gaussian blur, if I increase the pixels, it's just going to blur out the whole picture. It's nothing special, but in Photoshop you can use this for a lot of different things. If you put a filter on your image and you don't like the way it looks, you can go ahead and hit Control-Z on your keyboard, or go to Edit and Step Backward, and that would take off the last filter that you just added. So some of the other filters that I found interesting, if you go to Distort, and any one of these kind of ripples or zigzags I thought were kind of interesting. You can actually play around with how you view these lines. So in here, if I go to Amount, if I zoom back in so you can see what I just did, kind of really distort your picture around. You can change the ridges, you can change the sort of ripples, and let me zoom out. So it really distorts the pictures a lot, and you can have some fun with these. So if I hit OK, just so you can see the bigger version. Not very flattering. I'm sure my wife wouldn't like this picture much, but just so you can see what happens to it. So if I just Control-Z again, and I can start fresh. The assignment steps will be left on Google Classroom, so be sure that you read over them carefully so you can submit everything that's required. Have a great weekend, and we will see you when we come back from New York.